Alright, hey, I think we're live, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get it started because I do not have that much time today. Hey guys, I'm super sorry I didn't really stream last night, but I still want to play the account a little bit just to get the deleted rotation out of the way. The event has ended, so there's nothing to do with the event. I think we got like 15 boxes or something like that. Um, yeah, give or take 15. Um, that's fine. Well, that was some good fodder for us, but uh, I only have time to play like a little bit over an hour, so this is going to be a very short stream. I'm just going to focus on getting the dailies done and maybe rank up a little bit on the side again. Um, yeah, I'm just going to play like I'm gonna buff for 2 hours, but I'm just gonna play a little bit over an hour, I think. Thankfully, there's nothing important going on today, so all right. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. It's a little bit unfortunate that I don't have much time to play today, because this is the best my internet has acted in like weeks. This would be an excellent time to do some of the more interesting things. But it is what it is. I got other things to do. So the stream will be very short today. As soon as I get through my raid rotation, more or less, just about. I'll, I'll play only until like 5 a.m. PST, which is 1 hour and 30 minutes or so away. Did that one. Oh man, I wish my internet was always this stable, especially during Guild Wars. It would help so much. Hey, I'm alright, how are you? So I don't have that much time to play today, sadly. So I'm just trying to rush through my dailies. How about yourself? Doing well? Yeah, I need to grind out soldiers sometime as well. It's actually one of the core classes I need. I also need to get the bullet material, so it's going to be interesting. I don't think I'll have all the bullets. It makes no sense to. It costs a lot of AP, so I'll probably leave that to next Guild Wars, but or next Manifest rather. But as far as the class itself, I should still get it already. So, Brooder, you actually want all of the classes in the game eventually, right? So it's really when you start out, you don't have enough class points, and you know, it's just that's why you have to pick an order. But otherwise, it really um, you want all the classes in the game. Now, if you're asking, how do you decide, you know, which class to play? That really depends on the content that you're trying to do. Um, so it's almost always going to be a tier 4 class or a EX2 class for sure, right? Because tier 3 and lower classes and EX1 classes you can't customize, right? You don't get as many um, skills with them because you only get to pick one sub skill, whereas with tier 4 and EX2 classes you get to customize all 3 skills other than the main skill of the character, of the class. But as far as deciding which one to play, it's not so much really just on your character entry, but also that part is important, but it's also more important to consider what content you are trying to do and what your plan is. Like, for example, for Chevalier, right? I could try to kill her myself. If I did try to do that, see, I need to hit her to below 50%, otherwise she's gonna get her sealed up, right? But if I was gonna try to hit her, I'd probably have to play like, because I don't think I have enough damage right now, without playing something like the Luchador class. If I were to play the Luchador class, which I have not unlocked it, then I'm pretty sure I could hit her to below 50% already, right? But I don't have the class, so right now I can't. I'm not quite confident. I might be able to, even if I were to pick a Kirin or something especially, right? So like, let me try it actually. I'm pretty sure I can do it if I were to pick a Kirin. If I can find a Kirin. Oh wait, no. How would a Kirin help? Because I still need to take 2 turns, right? Yeah, a Kirin wouldn't really help me. It would help me if I had a Luchador, because you can tag again. But yeah, it really also depends on the content that you're trying to do. So right now, because I'm not that strong, I would need a Luchador, right? But once my grid has been filled out a little bit better, I have a little bit more skill levels on my weapons. I can probably just kill her with Rice Hour, right? Get her to below 50% at least with just my Ogi. So I would take like a Wang Long support. Actually, let me try that. I might actually already have enough damage. So let's try this class, right? I have some better summons now, no? Attack high. Yes, you want to get all classes, not just because you want to have the flexibility to switch between the classes, but also because the main character actually gets all these bonuses depending on the classes you have mastered. They are permanent bonuses. So anytime you master a class, right, it basically gives you a this master bonuses thing, right? So for example, for mastering Chrysar, my main character got a permanent 1% bonus to her triple attack. So you want to master classes, all classes. It's only a matter of how to which order to unlock them in. So I would strongly recommend unlocking Bandit Tycoon first, just because as a newer player, you are going to be focusing more on you know leeching or basically getting carried more so than doing the damage yourself. And the main hand for this class is also the weapon that I would recommend making, because for tier 4 classes you only need to make one class champion weapon, then you can unlock any of them, right? So I would make Oliver because it boosts your drop rate. Um, for the EX2 classes you need to make a class champion weapon for each class, so they are a little bit more costly. But yeah, I'd make Bandit Tycoon first, followed by Chrysar, because those are the most useful classes I think. After that it doesn't matter as much. I tried to get a Lumberjack early because if I want to full auto something then this is a good class. But I think other than Bandit Tycoon and Chrysar, you kind of have flexibility on what you want to pick. You can pick a Spartan if you want to start fighting some harder raids early and contribute. You can pick Berserker if you want to do a lot of damage, and kind of want to solo it a little bit more, because this class has very high damage. It also happens to be along the way for getting Lumberjack, which is one of the newer tier 4s, very strong class. But yeah, I think the only really, I would just recommend these two first, Bandit Tycoon and Chrysar. Then the rest are just whenever you get class points, just unlock whatever class you want to play or you think is cute or whatever. It doesn't really matter, I think. I would recommend putting Sage off for a little bit, because you don't really use Sage for most things right now. Yeah, other than Sage, any tier 4 class is okay. All the other tier 3s, extra ones, you want to get them before you even really start on tier 4s and EX2s. As far as tier 3 classes, you want to try to get Dark Fencer early on, just so you can, if you're hosting for someone, you can at least bring debuffs for them or something. Although it's not as important nowadays, because most players can, kill the early raids that you can host without debuff. It used to be more important back in the day, like let's say you have an intermediate or a veteran player trying to help you with your Chevalier or whatever. Back in the day there wasn't enough damage to actually kill her without debuffs, so you would have to host it with debuffs. So it's not really that important nowadays. It still helps you solo your own stuff, and some of you want to go fight story bosses or some quests like Magna 2, etc. Dark Fencer can come in handy there, or at least the skill, Miserable Mist. You want to master the class just for this skill, so that you can tackle on some of the harder unlock quests. But really the most important class is probably Gladiator, because a Gladiator lets you do what I'm doing right now, which is kill the campaign quest in one click with the Decimate skill. Right. So you don't need Chrysar for this. Gladiator is good enough, as long as you have a decently filled out grid. So you have Berserker, Chrysar, Warlock, and Chaos Ruler. I would strongly recommend at least trying to get Bandit Tycoon, especially if you can also get an Oliver. It doesn't have to be, the Oliver doesn't have to be completed, it doesn't even have to be element changed to get the effect. It just has to be the best Oliver. Even the best wind form is good enough. I already made mine dark, but you don't have to make it dark. You don't have to go through the element change step basically, because clearly you must have made some other class champion weapon given your classes. but you should still consider at least picking like the level 100 version, the wind base version of this, because it boosts your drop rate. So when you're joining like public raids, you wanna join as Bandit Tycoon when you're not doing damage. It's not as big a deal nowadays because a lot of these raids have blue chests, so if you can contribute quick damage, then it's better. But if you cannot do like a lot of damage really quickly, then what is a good emblem for Rising Force? I actually don't remember the emblems on that, so let's look it up. What were the emblems for that again? Rising Force. Yeah, I would recommend just like tweet it out, try to get other players to come kill it for you instead of trying to kill it yourself. Alright, what's the class champion weapon? Helmholtz. Okay. I think you probably want the Divinity. Just that's the one that stands out to me because Rising Force is at least primarily played as a Ogi class right now, and so having the extra charge bar gain while Moss is in effect is like the strongest one to me. I suppose you could try to play main character as just like an auto attacker, but I feel like that's kind of not how people are using Rising Force right now. So I'm pretty sure most people will go for Divinity here. I haven't really played this class too much, so I can't be 100% sure on this. Humanity. Let me ask someone who plays Rising Force a lot actually. Let me just check with someone real quick. Because I don't really play this class too much, and I've never really used especially I have the weapon. I think I am pretty sure I got Divinity on. Let me just check. I think I'm pretty sure I put Divinity on mine, right? Yeah, I made two versions. One is Earth and one is Light. On the Earth version, I put the second one. The Light one, I actually didn't even put a skill in. But let me ask who might I know that plays a lot of. Let me ask if anyone in my crew has used it. Right, I'll report back to you if I get some response from my crew about that. I'm not sure that people are actually using Helmholtz too much though, because a lot of the time people that are playing Rising Force, they are either playing Earth or Dark, and they're usually using like a different harp. Like Dark, you use Fairy's harp, and Earth you use the Opus itself. So I don't know if there are too many people using Helmholtz. For other elements, there are a bit like stronger classes to play. But at least looking at it, I guess you can kind of turn it into a pseudo fairy harp, right? Because the first skill would basically turn Helmholtz into basically what fairy's harp does, which is what was it called again? So I don't remember the name. Unhell, I think. Yeah. So um, when you Ogi, it gives you like critical hit and cap, right? But with this one, it will be basically the same thing. I think it might be a little bit too early for you to go for magnitude, like focus on magnitude that hard. I would say continue uh, with just doing daily rotation. Maybe you can focus on ranking a little bit more, like I am, right? But I'd just do like your daily hosts for now, and focus more on like getting fodders for your existing weapons. If you can get to like rank 130 and start doing like EBSL hosts, then you can try to get an early Ultima weapon, which I should do on this account myself, because that's gonna boost your damage a lot. So if you're getting about 150 or 200k honors with an Ultima that's focused on your party, you're probably gonna yeah, get to that honors quicker, which is going to help you a lot. You don't need too much more than that. Like if you can get 250k very quickly, then that's good enough to farm um, grenade that's being tweeted out in public. But yeah, I don't know what you too much about Magneto that early. But it is the right idea to focus on one element at a time. Once you do start to grinding out Magneto, but I think there are a lot of good weapons that you can pick up just by leeching before you even you know get to Magneto. Um, it's going to get harder with, from tomorrow, but if you're at rank 130 and you manage to just get into um, a train, so a lot of the Ultimate Bahamut normal trains, they have a rank restriction, but some don't, like this one doesn't, right? Occasionally they will fill up. They're going to be a little bit slower, but that's okay. Or you can get like a veteran player to host the room for you and let you in, or you can host the room yourself. Ask for like higher rank players just so it goes quicker. Um, it's a little bit mean to not let other low rank players in when you're low rank yourself, but you gotta do what you gotta do, right? And but it's also not. What am I farming right now? I'm just farming ranks for the most part. Otherwise, I'm just at least until the Magnafest ends, I'm not gonna worry too much about my grids, because the plan on this account at least is to try to get to like a stage where I can farm gold bars as quickly as possible, um, and then I'll come back and think about the other elements later. But I'm focusing very hard on dark right now, and uh, during Magnafest, because of the camping quest, right, which is very efficient at ranking up. Uh, that's why I'm just focused on this right now. But you don't have to do necessarily what I'm doing. Um, it's okay to uh, if you feel like you are ready to farm Magneto, it's okay to get started with that too. But still, I would at least try to get to rank 130 so that you can start hosting Ultimate Bahamut HL every day, because that's a gold bar chance. So what I was gonna show you is actually so getting the host material, you're gonna have to do Ultimate Bahamut normal. You're gonna have to do a train, or you can leech public Twitter. The problem with trains is that most people are gonna ask for like rank 200 and above, or rank 180 and above, or something like that, right? But you will, if you camp the room enough, you will see that there will be a no rank restriction room, or you can start one yourself, or you can start one even as a low rank, but ask for like 180 above. Uh, People might not join if they see you if they see that you are too low rank or something. So it's better if you can get some friend or crewmate with who's higher rank than you to host it for you. But so you're gonna actually struggle with the train more. As far as the actual quest itself, at least until the nerf. Um, I just wanna get the host material, so it doesn't matter as long as I'm in the train rate. Uh, doesn't quite matter what I'm doing, because the entire goal is to get host material for the raid. So if I go to Imperial License in here, right, UBHL, so you need this host material to be able to join the, or to be able to host the Ultimate Bahamut normal, right? And Ultimate Bahamut normal drops this meteorite stuff, which is what you need to host. This is the host material for UBHL. So the whole point of doing UBHN is to get this guy. For the most part, you also need some of the meteorites to be able to make a ultima weapon. But next week you're gonna be able to pick one for free, so it's not that big a concern right now. Because there's going to be an event rerun, the Warpex Sky Blue Part 3, and it's going to let you pick one ultima weapon. So right now there's no reason to waste meteorites for that right now, because next week we're gonna get one. Otherwise you would have to spend. You'd have to make some. I think I have the spear done. You would have to. Okay, so let me make this fire, because I do want a fire spear. Right, so you see how this is gonna cost me some meteorite. And a horn. But yeah, the two primary reasons to do UBHN is, one is just so you can make ultima weapons. You start at the Atma step, right? But the bigger reason is to host the UBHL, which it's going to be harder to get people to come kill your UBHL as well, starting tomorrow. Because at least until today there should have been carry rooms here. People were doing 5-man carry rooms where they would welcome any low rank, or anyone who has a host was welcome basically. They would just kill your host for you, but that's getting nerfed, so I'm not sure. Depending on how bad the nerf is, people might stop doing this. So it don't be as easy to get people to kill your hosts anymore, which is a little bit unfortunate. It's also really hard to get on this. Yeah, they might, but I'm not sure. I think most serious players are probably going to rank up with camping quest anyway. And it's not like Akasa is bad for rank points. Nevertheless, it's definitely going to be a little bit harder, because there will not be as many people doing it for sure. I just hope the nerf isn't too bad. Because for low rank players or new players, it's actually kind of hard to get people to kill it. But you can always do what other people have done, right? So right now I'm trying to join a carry room, but you don't have to do that. You can also do what this guy is doing, for example. You can host the room yourself and just say, hey, I need carries. I need carries with this rank or whatever. It was a lot less stress to just join a carry room. There doesn't seem to be that many going on right now though. I saw 3 rooms and they're instantly filling up. Sure. You can just link me an image or the collection tracker on wiki, either way. So there are two gorilla rooms going on. It's actually kinda annoying. I thought there would be a lot more rooms active right now, especially since it's last minute. But maybe people have just kinda stopped. Good lord. Um, I might just join one later when my crew starts it. But to go back to what you can do to fight Chevalier, I'm going to try to cheese her with, I wonder if I have enough damage. I feel like with my grid, Decimate might actually do better than doing like a double Ogi, but I'm not 100% sure. I guess it doesn't hurt to try. I stopped it because I'm gonna do like the auxiliary Ogi first, and I want the diff down. Okay, let's go test it. Feel like I might just hit her to below 50. Okay, that's actually a lot less damage than I thought. Right, the problem here is, since I don't have a 5-star Eternal, I have to use Wanglong right away. So I actually could have brought Decimate, right? Because Aurum Flow didn't really do much for me. I didn't think about that. But yeah, pretty sure she's gonna be below 50. So because of, because my dark characters are really strong, I can actually already do this raid without like using a Lucha or something. Wow, she actually died. It was more damage than I thought after the Ogi. Before I thought it was too little damage because I was expecting his skills to do a little bit more. But if I'm gonna have to use Huang Long anyway, I should bring Decimate instead here. Because that's gonna be more skill damage. So the thing with Huang Long is that gives you 30% more charge bar, and your Crucible can give you 30% charge bar as well. So right now in my Crucible I have these skills, right? Boost to wind attack because I was doing the event, I think. I wanted a little bit more help with that. So I don't have green pots right now, which is very uncommon. But the standard skills are like green pots, drop rate, 30% charge bar, and 10% rank points. Right. So this 30% charge bar gives your party. So because she puts up her buff, right, the shield, only at 50%. Only if you like, attack her before she hits 50%. So like, if you just attack her and she doesn't get to 50%, then she's gonna put a shield up. But at 50%, she has a different trigger. So the way this game works is if certain triggers can take priority over other triggers. So her 50% takes priority over her, trigger where she puts up the shield or the buff. So because I hit her below 60%, below 50%, right? Actually, I killed her in that one turn. But even if I hadn't killed her, as long as I hit her below 50%, the 50% trigger would take effect and not her shield. And then on the second turn I could have killed her. Anyway, let's look at your characters here. You said you were thinking about farming Grimnir first, right? So I'll keep that in mind. You have Sid. You have Athena. That looks pretty good. Of course you have Siva as well. You also have decent Dark. So one of the more common ultimates to pick in the game in general is just a sword, because a lot of characters have sword specialty, a lot of good characters. But in your case, a spear would also go a long way, especially if you really are focusing on fire. So you have some very strong fire spear characters. And you don't really have spear uses in other elements so much though. Jian is okay. You do have a few sword users. Sword is like very common, so I would say you can pick either a spear or a sword for your ultima. If you pick a sword, it's going to help out like your dark party and your earth party, and a little bit for your wind as well, just because it's just Monica. But yeah, between Vira and Siegfried, your earth is going to get some help from sword as well. For dark, it's just Jui and Jian. But the spear also goes a long way, especially if your fire is very strong, spear party. I think if you're really very planning to like just farm Grimnir, I'd pick a fire spear. You don't have to make it fire. The element doesn't matter, but you want to consider which element you're going to main hand that with. I'm also making a spear, but I'm going to make it fire, even though fire has a good spear main hand in what's that called? The Akasa spear, Hollow Sky spear. But one, I don't have access to Hollow Sky right now because you need to you need to do Akasa a lot, or you need to have the Eternals to farm out targeted silver shards in order to make the weapon. On another, it's not as strong a main hand as an Ultima, especially early on. So in my case, I'm making a spear because it also helps out my dark party with Kolulu, right? Um, and I'm gonna play main character with like the Xeno spear main hand. So because my dark already has a very strong spear main hand, but my fire doesn't, I'm going to make it fire. I think you can probably also just make it fire, looking at your party members. Should be fine. Hello. I didn't think I was gonna actually one turn kill Sevalier. That was more damage than I thought for sure. But Dark is very busted. And I have very strong characters. Like, super strong characters. So, what happened in Song on YouTube is that I started getting like copyright claims every day, and I kind of got tired of them. So I'm planning to like re-upload the VODs without like the maybe it's like a separate track or something, because I don't want ads playing on my videos. Because it ruins the experience. But YouTube was gonna put ads on my videos unless I mute out like essentially the whole videos, because I used some like copyrighted music or whatever. YouTube just kind of sucks for that, to be honest. But yeah, I just haven't had the time to like go in there and figure out which track, like how bad is the copyright claim. Maybe it still makes sense to upload them. It also looked to me like at least that there weren't that many people following on YouTube, but if there are actually people watching my YouTube VODs, then I'll take some time to go see what I can do about them. It's just that some of the days I had like multiple copyright claims, not just one. So it wasn't like easy to just say, okay, mute this song. I should also be just more careful about the music I'm using, I guess. Yeah, I have two accounts. I'm probably one of the most advanced accounts in the game, because I'm one of the very few guys who has soloed. So they recently announced the weapon skill. So there are something called Eternals in the game, right? And there's a bunch of steps with the Eternals. But the next step that the game has announced is going to be basically getting Eternal skin weapon skins for your weapons. So there are 10 weapon types in the game, and then there are 10 characters associated with them called evokers, right? Eternals, not evokers. So C is one of them. C is gun type, right? Her specialty is gun. She's the 10th Eternal. But there are 10 of 10 Eternals, like our crew members basically, and they basically become the face of the game, I guess. The main goal of the game for a lot of people is just yeah, I have a YouTube channel. I actually link it on my profile. I did upload like I'm actually restreaming right now. Like I'm live right now on YouTube. but I'm using this restream thing, and you know it doesn't use the right title unless I pay them or whatever. But I'm still like live. Yeah, I think you know you can follow my early like week 1 and week 2 uh, VODs. That should help depending on what rank you are at, you know what content you're trying to do. Um, but yeah, so to get back to like I know what the status of my main account is. So like one of the first goals for players is to get all 10 Eternals. Then the second goal from that is to get all 10 Eternals to 5-star or FLV, which requires a lot of time and resources. Then after that, for Eternals, there is a special skin called the blue skin that you can get by investing even more. And then now the game has announced another step where the Eternals are going to get 6-star on cap, but that's much further into the future. But next month, sometime in May, they are going to add weapon skins for Eternal weapons. So you can skin each weapon with like another weapon. If you click on the skin here, you get to pick like you get to make your weapon look like any other weapon, and they're going to add weapon skins for Eternal weapons. And the requirements for that are basically you have to have the blue skin that I just mentioned, which is the blue skin requires that you have all 10 Eternals at 5-star, and then you have to spend some extra resources. You have to fight them all at the same time. You have to spend a few more resources, a lot of resources to get it. But then that's one requirement. But more or the harder requirement, because blue skin is actually very common now. The harder requirement is you need to have soloed the more or less the final boss in the game right now. The very last raid in the game. Right? Lucilius Hard, Fasan, HL. You need to have soloed that with every single element in the game. So as far as I know, there are only 4 people that have completed it right now. I'm one of them. I'm the only one outside Japan right now. Now there might be more that haven't like tweeted it, or you know I might not know because I didn't come across the tweet or something. But as far as I know, there are only 4 people right now. So that's why I'm very confident when I say that my account is like one of the most advanced account. And it's not just that, like I have a whole bunch of weapons that a lot of people didn't farm, or I spent a lot of money into the game on my main account too. So hey, the other thing is there's this special event called Guild Wars, right? Unite and Fight, which is basically the player versus player content in Granblue, other than just racing during raids, I guess. It's not a real player versus player in a way, because you're not like fighting another crew directly, but it's kind of like your crew goes up against another crew and you're both trying to kill as many bosses as quickly as possible. It's like a pseudo player versus player. Anyway, the event also has like global rankings for individuals, and I've been on that. I've been like top 5 twice. Been top 50 since like November 2018 for every single one. So yeah, I definitely am confident in saying that my main account is in like the ultra endgame, and my second account is also like very much in the endgame territory, because I can race people in like gold bar farming, and I can well, it takes time, right? Do I have a schedule? So right now I don't stream my main accounts regularly. I only stream this account. I've been streaming this like every day for 20 days. Normally, I try to stream like in the evening. I live in the US, West Coast, so I try to. I've been meaning to at least be more consistent about streaming at evening or nighttime. Um, and in the morning, if I stream, that I've been meaning to stream my main accounts instead in the morning, but especially like the last few days because of my real life obligations, things haven't quite worked out that way. Um, but my regular for this account, the new account thing that I'm doing, this project, my regular stream time would be like what would it be? About 8 hours earlier, starting about 8 hours earlier for now. It's 4 a.m. for me right now, but I would stream like around 8 p.m. or something like that. I was supposed to do like it at 7 p.m. every day, but one of the things that I realized is that for whatever reason my internet is really unstable at that time lately. It's probably because a lot of people are working from home and things like that, so because of the whole COVID-19 situation. Yeah, it's alright. I don't. I'm perfectly fine if you follow along with the VODs, or as long as you're tabbing, checking my content out here and there. I'm more than happy to have you around. I don't you don't owe me anything, right? I don't expect anyone to like just come sit on my stream every day for no reason. I am unfortunately I don't have time right now to like make good highlights, because a lot of this is just a repetitive grind, right? And it's only when some people come in and ask some poignant questions that I start talking about something important, or maybe I reached a stage where I feel like I should point something out. So I want to make highlights of those sections, but it's not as much. It's not as bad as some of the other games. Yes. So event does give you a lot of pots. So unlike many other games, APEP is not as much of a concern in Granblue, but outside of Magnafist, right? Right now it's Magnafist, so things are cheaper, much cheaper, right? Outside of Magnafist, certain raids can be very costly to join. Like all the raids become, all of these raids from here on, they're 5 EP to join, not 2. And then hosting is also a lot costlier. So as a very new player, you will run out of AP and EP when the Magnafist ends. But right now they're running a campaign, and they were handing out a bunch of free stuff. You do need to think about it a little bit, but it's much better than some of the other games. Like I've been playing this game called Arknights on the side, and it's super restrictive. There's basically no stamina to play more than, I don't know, 5-10 minutes a day. Honestly, feels like that. It's unless you spend money, it feels like you don't get to do much. So Granblue is not like that, which I really like, because I believe I think it's better to let the player decide whether or not they want to play. So if I don't feel like playing today, I don't have to play Granblue, because I know I can come tomorrow and catch up, because there is no arbitrary restriction, right? I can farm pots if I feel like it by going to the co-op. So I like the freedom that Granblue provides. I don't feel compelled to like. Now there are daily hosts, there are reasons that I want to play it every day anyway, but still, if I miss a day, I don't feel so bad, because I know I can catch up. I can take a break, if I feel really tired, I can come take even a week break or something, and I'll be fine. This one. So these are both my accounts. I mean, this is both the same account. I'm not streaming my main accounts right now. This is I'm just killing the campaign quest. Um, you can do that very early with well, with either a Chrysaor or a Gladiator class with this skill called Decimate because it does 10 hits. The way this boss works, it each no matter how strong your grid is, each damage is like instance is capped to 30,000. Yeah, I've talked about it before, but yeah, basically as long as you have like a Gladiator or a Chrysaor with a sword and a katana here, um, anyone can do this. So I'm just doing that while hosting my Magna HL raids on the other screen. So I need to get a move on with this actually, because I do not have that much time today. Only about 40 more minutes. Yeah, you should try to see if somebody can help you with that. Some of the more advanced players. Have you joined a crew yet? That's one of the first things I would recommend. Try to join a crew. Yeah, ask a crew for help. You don't need like a very active crew at the start. You just need a crew with like, as long as there's even if it's just a couple of members. Um, if you have some veteran players who can like come kill your raids and things like that, that's good enough. But yeah, man, my internet is doing much better right now. It has done so much worse lately. But it's unfortunate I don't have that much time to play today. Because I would like to do like some of the harder stuff right now. I haven't been. Yeah, it's okay to. Apparently, I got Oliver's weapon to a win SSR. So Brooder, it's not important to change it to dark. If you think you can change it to dark and you know you can actually kill your Magna once with that, okay, but it's not important. It's because it's better to focus on like getting someone else to come kill your raids when you're playing Bounty Hunter or when you're playing Bandit Tycoon. Your goal is just to apply Bounty Hunter and get someone else to come kill it. But that said, with Dark you still do a lot of damage even with like Oliver main hand, right? So if you think you can kill bosses with just their Oliver main hand, then sure, why not? I did make mine Dark because I want my main character to at least do some damage. And thanks to Zui, even if I have Oliver main hand, my main character will do a significant amount of damage. So it's not a bad idea, but if you want to save on the resources, then you don't have to do it either. As far as farming co-op for class champion weapons, unless you're trying to do like EX2 classes, which you have to make the class champion weapon. But even in that case, really, I recommend using your prestige pendants early on. If you can get people to come help you, farm co-op really quickly, that's alright. But if you can't get people to come help you you know, if it's not super fast, like if it's taking like a minute to kill every time or something, then and you want a class right away, then it's okay to spend your prestige pendants on the distinctions, and you can use your, you know, silver bars, which are very limited actually. Early on, it's kind of a pain, but you can use your silver bars to unlock or uncap the weapon relics too. But you should want to do that for like a couple of classes. After that, you should really farm co-op because you want to start using your pendants for actual weapons. And yeah, your silver bars are going to be needed for things like Xenos and all that. So. Yep, try to buy, especially if you're actually new, try to buy out the 5 silver bars that are in the casino every month. You can buy the distinction with your pendants, yes. And you can uncap your class champion weapon with the silver bar. But only do that for like a couple, because like I was saying, silver bars are needed for Xeno weapons and a bunch of other weapons. They are also needed for a class champion weapon or like the final steps. You know, you don't have a choice but to use them. Whereas, you know, early on, like uncapping the relic is a choice. If you have a lot of silver bars, you can do it. But you need them for like, you know, the final step to make ULB. So I didn't actually hear back. I don't know if you're still watching, Anne, but I didn't really get any response with about Rising Force. To me, it seems like Humanity is okay. I feel like Divinity is probably still the better one if you're trying to do like a Ogi team. But Humanity is probably okay. It just makes it kind of like a fairy harp. I'd say try them out. But you know, if it's too expensive for you to get the weapon skill materials, then I understand you wanna first focus. If you want to hold off on using the skill for a couple of days, I can give you an opinion because I can actually use that weapon. I haven't really used it much. You don't need to go through all the steps to unlock roof tier 4s. You just need to make one class champion weapon. I would recommend making Oliver because it boosts your drop rate, and you only need to get it up to element change step. And the same is true for all the EX2 classes, where you know for row 4 classes, as long as you have any class champion weapon, you can unlock them. But for EX2 classes, you need to actually make the class champion weapon for the class. But you only need to go up to element change step. You don't have to go all the way. But there are certain weapons that you do want to go all the way, like you do need to change the element, but you don't need to go after that. Right? After changing the element, there is still like a couple more steps, but you don't have to do that part. You don't need to change the element though. But for tier 4, right, row 4 classes, you only need one class champion weapon. It can be any class. I strongly recommend making the Bandit Tycoon version called Oliver. Yeah, the element change step is the second to last step, yes. But you know, the last steps are actually the most costly steps, right? especially if it's your first time making a class champion weapon, because you have a discount on the first time. It's only after it's only when you want this second and further copies of your class champion weapon, then that's when it gets very costly. Hello. Yep. If you're gonna make John Doe, like, especially you want to make John Doe for multiple elements, like it's good for wind, it's good for dark, it's good for fire, it's good for light, it's honestly good for all elements. Hello. So yeah, certain weapons, it's gonna get very costly. Like the Chrysaor weapon is also very good. You want it for every element eventually. So that's a lot of sword stones. You want to make the Chrysaor weapon eventually, but what I'm saying is you're very new, right? And you're trying to unlock the tier 4 classes for now, right? So you don't have the resources to go all the way anyway, and Bandit Tycoon's Oliver gives you the most benefit right now because it boosts your drop rate. So it's not that you don't want the Chrysaor weapon. The Chrysaor weapon is very strong. You do eventually want it, not just one copy, but you want all copies. Like Oliver, you only want one copy, right? I mean, it's nice to have more than one copies, but one copy is enough. You mean in Fasan? If you die, even if there is an auto revive, the counter goes down. So if the counter goes to 0 because of that, then yes, the red wipe will trigger. But if you're taking Kaguya main or support, I don't know if you're even gonna be that useful, right? So that is the one way to survive. So the counter only starts at 70%, right? Yep. If you just wanna be a phalanx bot or something, then it's okay to take like Kaguya. But then you're not gonna clear your trial, right? So you're going to be pure leeching anyway. But if you just wanna be like a hey, I have phalanx at least kind of thing, then that's fine. But the counter only starts at 70%. So when the wings are below 70% is when the counter starts. So until the wings are below 70%, the counter doesn't matter. Even if you die, the counter doesn't go down. So if you're concerned, just that, oh, I don't want to die right at turn 1 and then the raid ends. That's not how that works. Even if your entire party dies in turn 1, because you don't have 30k HP, other people can still continue the raid. The counter only starts at after the raid has reached 70%. Yep. That is fine. It's just that you probably won't have enough HP if you're doing that. For Kengo, it's definitely the devilry, right? Whichever one gives you like the 30% charge bar when you Ogi to the team. If I remember correctly, it's devilry. You definitely want that one. If anyone has used Rising Force a lot and knows about humanity versus divinity, please let me know. I haven't really used that weapon, so I couldn't really tell you. To me, on paper, it looked like divinity was the better choice, but I was not 100% confident. If somebody has played around with the humanity emblem and likes it, it does look like, you know, it would turn the class champion weapon into something like a fairy harp. But I'm not sure exactly how good that is compared to just getting a charge bar. Oh, you mean that for Kengo's CCW? Now, if you are going to use a katana for one turn kill, please use a Ultima Katana instead. Because, you know, it's just a much stronger katana for one turn kill. Now I realize you can only, you know, usually you are restricted to one element for Ultima, right? But really, it's water. It's probably what I would make Ultima Katana, and I would definitely focus on, like, I would use, you know, Ultima Katana for one turn kill, and then I would use class champion weapon for actually fighting harder bosses. Yeah, you should do like a train instead, you know, with like lower number of players or something. Like a 10-man train or something every day. At least make sure you do it twice so that you know, at least gets like 20 hosts every day. Other than that, yeah, Twitter is kinda hard. I see. Well, at least you got there, right? I just removed the other skill. You can remove a skill. Because I didn't want to misclick other skills, so I just removed them. Like if you go in here, right, you can say remove sub skill. Yeah. I was getting tired of like misclicking other skills, so for this party, because that's the only skill I care about, right? I removed the other skills. Oh, because you don't have a tier 4. Okay. So Gladiator can't do that, sadly. Um, yeah, Gladiator can't do that. It's only tier 4 classes are the only ones that have the option to like tier 3 and EX1 classes, they have their own skills and the one you only get to customize the last one. But tier 4 and EX2 classes, you get to select three skills. That's why. I would join Impossibles just because they also give you some of the other things, right? That you're gonna need in the future. Like you're gonna need a lot of the elemental centrums they drop. I also feel like they have slightly better drop rates for weapons. So what I mean is like right here, right? Hi. So you're gonna need a lot of this in the future. So back in the day when you know the Impossibles died a lot slower, there was a reason to say, hey, join the extremes. But nowadays, there isn't really a reason to join the extremes, other than if you're trying to help someone out or you know, if you have like guaranteed vice or something, then that's okay, right? Because it's like a veteran player that you know, and you know they're okay with giving you. They're gonna kill it anyway really quickly, and they're just giving you like a guaranteed vice chest, right? Then it's okay. But if you're trying to join from like public Twitter, I would just join the HL versions. That said, sometimes it can be that they still die a little bit too slow. That you know you get stuck because you have more than 3 raids open or something. If that's the case, if they are dying too slow for the element that you're trying to focus on, then extremes are still okay. Otherwise, I would really just focus on impossibles. I'm just trying to get through my daily rotation. Um, as soon as I'm done with it, um, I got a lot of work to do today. How are you though, Snicker? You mean buying them from the shop? Yeah, I think Oliver is one of the ones that if you wanted to, you could like just buy out the sub and use it for one element. I think it's perfectly fair to do that. For other class champion weapons, I would not think about it, but for Oliver, it's okay. And also, it's not a bad drop. Like the drop on that is actually not too bad. Like even if you need to, if you decide you want more in the future, or more copies in the future, it's a lot easier to get than some of the other ones. One raid that I would recommend doing every day with your crew, if possible, is at least do your it's not that bad to do solo or with like a couple of crew members, but try to do RQ every day. Rose Queen. I've not been doing that right now, but I'll start doing it once Magnificence, or maybe even doing Manifest once on days I have more time. But basically, she's gonna give you like one class champion weapon replica for sure in the Seer chest, so you can slowly acquire replicas that way. Also, there are things that you can trade for in the shop, like you can trade for distinctions, you can trade for some of the weapons and things like that. So she's a decent rate to do every day. Even at like in game, I still do this every day on my other accounts, just for class champion weapons. Wait. So another Chevalier, then yeah. Don't feel bad about like leaving a crew. It's okay if it's not working out for you. It's okay to go to our next one. The sooner you do that, the better actually, because then there are no, lingering resentments towards each other. Makes sense. Yeah, that's the anniversary event. We tend to get a lot of what we call seasonal players during that. People that only come in for like anniversary and Christmas and big events like that basically. There's nothing wrong with that, right? People can play the game however they want. It's perfectly fine. But if you're actually trying to play the game a little bit more seriously, then probably want to be in a little bit more active crew. Yeah, that the problem is they're just like trying the game out, like window shopping it or something, and then they didn't really like what they saw, I suppose. Or something happened to them, which I hope wasn't the case, but the world is in a dangerous place right now. Yeah, more or less what I'm doing, I guess, on this account. I'm still going to pick up 4-star Sarasa along the way on the Guild Wars, but then I'm gonna have 5-star 6. You just ask for carries basically. The last, you've been asked of. There is no way as a low rank player or new player you can do it yourself. You're just pretty much gonna have to ask some veterans to help you out. Yeah, you're gonna have to ask some veteran players to help you out. It's not that bad nowadays because people can full auto it, so you can just ask someone to come full auto it for you. Together, you guys can do something else, and then in the co-op room you just full auto, and then you check back every once in a while. Get some veteran players to help you out. That's what I'm doing. I don't even have Alex. I have Marduk on my second account. I run Highlander because Kaim is very strong, right? It does the job perfectly fine, even if I don't have Titan. Uriel is just nice to have. I do have Uriel on that account, 0 star, but he's just a cherry on top. You don't need him. So did I just finish this? Or one more? Okay. Hello. It's not uncommon, right? There are a lot of people that stream GBF. There's Cyan Trail, there's Sora, the two big ones, I guess, for English speaking players anyway. And then there are a couple others. I'm just doing this new account thing. Otherwise, I don't stream very regularly. Yes, it's very rewarding. It's a very efficient way to rank up and get experience for your characters. At rank 185 you get another HP node. So you get the first party HP node. What it does is basically it lets you have 1000 flat HP for the entire EMP skill. Yep. At rank 155 you get your first one, then you get a second one at rank 185. Then there is one more at rank 210 for HP. Did I get to 175? Actually, I was making. Oh yes, it is cap. Thank you. I need to do the on cap quest. I didn't. I was at 174 when I started. You're correct. I need to do the campaign on cap quest. No, that one's a very hard one actually. That probably means it's a good time to end today. That quest is gonna take too long for me to really on cap. I'm still gonna do my daily host, but I might as well spam this, I guess, just because it's bots. I'm gonna do that on the stream tonight, the uncap quest, because it's gonna take me a while. But you're correct. I hit 175. That means I'm currently capped. I still wanna host this for a horn. Sort of wish they would keep track of extra RP you gain after you're capped, but then people would instantly hit the cap anytime they reach the cap. I think it's in Akastia, right? The quest itself, but it's very long. Like, I have to, go fight all the 6 Magna HL versions or something like that. Don't really have time for that, unfortunately, right now. So I'm gonna ignore it for now. Especially because I don't really have grids for other elements done quite yet, right? So it's gonna take me a lot longer. So I'm gonna do that tonight. It's still okay to keep doing camping quests because still getting like some experience and slowly but definitely getting pots. I just want to get my dailies done other than that. hope this Siba dies. Because I'm in a co-op room for Bahaichal hosting. I hope he dies before it's my turn to host there. Actually, let's go look at it. I'm just waiting for this to die anyway. Somewhere in here, I think. Okay. So I actually don't remember how these fights go at all. I'm not sure if I can choose with Dark. I'll try. Maybe I should go with the Kirin. Let's find out how difficult it is actually. If I remember correctly, they were very, very difficult fights. But it's been a while since I did them. Oh, I should have done that first. Should have dispelled first. I don't think it's gonna... Ah, it did land. Off element. Okay, that's probably gonna kill me, right? Yeah. Bigger problem is I don't have anything against... Oof. Problem is, I don't have blue pots. Still that was enough apparently. Alright, it's a lot easier than I thought. But that just goes to show you how quick progression can be in this game nowadays. I remember it being much harder. Alright, I'm gonna take Kirin for the next ones. Problem is this guy like refreshes his HP or whatever nonsense. So I have to kill him in one turn. Actually, should change my skill back to. Actually, I should consider bringing Wang Long instead, just so I can Ogi. Yeah. Chapter 61, right? 59? Wang Long. I know I have a Kirin main, but it's not. I cannot use it, right? To reset. It does give me slightly more skill damage though, so I was thinking about that too, but this is slightly better dark attack. I'm just being lazy with that. Probably slightly better damage. If I take Kirin, I'll take Kirin after this one if I don't have it. It's my turn to host Baha. Okay, this thing should die with this, right? Alright. Okay, these fights are a lot easier than I thought, or I'm more optimized for this than the last time I did these guys. I do have quite a few good weapons actually. A lot of free weapons in the game now, I know. So if you go look at, like, for example, Cyan Trail or Asumi's videos for when he did 175 on cap, you'll understand just how tough it was. When people had to actually do it, it was a very annoying long fight. 59. That was before I even started playing though. No, I don't want this guy. I want Wang Long. Yeah, let me just change my party to Kirin after all. It's probably better damage. Yep, you definitely can. That's what I'm doing. It's a very powerful weapon. For dark especially. Alright, Kirin Wang Long. It's kind of funny how important these guys are to the game. Because most of my weapons came from just leeching them, right? It's probably not. Oh crap. set it on the wrong party instead. This is the party that I wanted to set it on. I mean, to some extent, it's probably correct. Like, the reason I'm using Highlander is because I don't want to skill the other stuff, right? But if you like skilled, if you have 5 claws and you skilled everything to like level 10, it's probably stronger. 1400, 1410. It's actually better stats. In my case, I'm just trying to optimize for like one particular thing, right? And for everything else along the way, if it's good enough, then it's good enough, Like it's good enough for me to do this rank on cap quest. That's more than enough for me. But it's probably correct, like if you have 5 claws and if you have all of them to skill level 10 or 15, it's probably stronger than this Highlander grid right now. Okay, I think my raid ended. Cold bar, please. That would be super nice. Nope. Too bad. Yikes, I didn't want to join that one, but it's okay. It's probably one Hearn at least. Okay. How did I not land the def down on element? Yeah. You just want to basically slot in the strongest weapons you have, right? What? Oh, that doesn't work out. I never actually tried that. So Ray has to be in the front for that to work. I need to cast that, still die. Two more. I can actually host my other magnitudes while this is going on. I leased 3 copies. Actually, I leased enough to have a full copy, but I also bought 1 copy from the shop. I got 1 extra drop afterwards. This one I'm not so sure that I should blow Wang Long that early. Probably shouldn't have used main character's spell. Oh well. Seems like she's a lot tankier. Hopefully this is still good enough. I might want to do her with a green support actually. I got a harp. Easy. This is why you wanna rank up early, guys, just so you can leech host stuff. Don't hit the player, hit the game. I don't discuss this. She's so tanky. God. Ah, finally. One long, probably. This guy again. Black Knight. Look. Annoying fight. Talk about annoying. I can't land debuff on her. Can I dispel her shit? Okay, I should have done that first. One dispel removes everything. Probably gonna be fine. I know, right? At least no, it doesn't look as bad as Akasa. God, that was so annoying. How long that took. Kidding, one turn, okay. Next turn she dies. Never mind, she kills me first. That's what I was gonna say. Next turn she dies unless she kills me first. I should have tanked that with the thought did occur to me that hey, she might kill me this turn. And I was like, maybe I should tank that with Kolulu, and I should have done that. But I was like, she wasn't full Ogi, right? So I thought, nah, no way. But then she did do that. That was funny. Alright, at least I got the rank. That wasn't nearly as bad as I thought, but just means I've gone much further than I thought already. Just by like basically leeching around. I might even be able to uncap some of the summons now. Not Tia, I think. I still need. Yes, you can. That's how I got mine. Of course. It's kind of what I'm relying on actually. Because at the end of the day, you cannot. Everyone who has Hades sacked him, right? Since you cannot spark him. So that means everybody who has Hades sacked him unless they were crazy enough to zero ticket him. I don't think you should ever use a zero ticket, by the way. No matter what. Nobody's worth it. 150 gold means it's too costly. Only if you really cannot live without it. But I think there is no reason, nothing in the game requires zero ticketing them. If you don't have a primal, just play the Magna, it's fine. The game is not that bad. Let me just request backup for this guy. You can always build a random Highlander nonsense with it. I think my Sony drop ended. I don't want to play longer, but my Grimnir is not dying. So Tama bar is just more efficient, right? 20 gold wounds versus 30. So I would like sub per ticket, or what's the sub stand for again? I would sub the Gisla and then try to, yeah. Some of the old lady quests can be pretty brutal. The you know the trick that I remember now is to actually use Grimnir. So take whatever nonsense winning weapons you have, put them in a grid, right? Some grid, and then just fight her with Grimnir. Someone. Basically, what I did, just like randomly put in like some cheap wind weapons, right? You get a bunch free. Like the gun is free, this fist is free, that other gun is also free. Um, this is actually not a bad weapon, the Celeste Spear, because it gives you some enmity of the normal mod. Just bar dagger, etc. etc. Just bunch of free weapons, and then Grimnir helps because you can just like whenever she does her trigger, you just put the seal on. Grimnir also does a lot of nuke damage to her. Yeah, that works too, I guess. But I think Grimnir is the easiest way to cheese her, because you have like flat 10k shield for several turns, and it's also a lot of nuke, very strong nukes. You definitely want the Bounty 4, right? Because that's like the bread and butter, Bounty Hunter 4. But then, if you want to actually use the class 4 damage, there is this skill, a new skill called Onslaught. I mean, I already bought all of them, I guess, but it's actually really easy to buy MP skills, right? If you if you're doing the campaign quest, you're gonna get there. You're gonna get the experience for all that pretty quickly. But Bounty Hunter 4 is nice. Spring's Gate is nice because basically means that you have anytime break assassin now. Break extend is useful, but only towards later. But you don't really need it right now. The other ones they have uses, but really this is the one. A Bounty Hunter 4 and Onslaught, so you can actually do damage outside of the turns. Okay, that game took forever. Please don't take that long. I don't have the boost on, but I might as well still. Oh, what the heck? Johnny drops are cheap. I'm just gonna turn it on, but I won't use it the whole hour. you only need to do 120k honors on Magna 1 shells to cap out the pendants. Okay, no, crystal. Oh, it's dead. Why can't I click this skill? Alright guys, this is all I wanted to do today. Just got to get to my daily magnet rotation. It took a little bit longer because I think I started talking in the middle of starting other things. Thank you for coming along. I'm just gonna host this and basically I assume that it's gonna die at some point. But personally I have other things to do, so I gotta run. Thank you guys for coming along. Stay safe. If you want to follow my progress for this account, or if you just want to see what else I'm up to, please follow the stream. But you're welcome to come check in anytime. Any suggestions are also welcome. So let me just answer this real quick. So if you have your own, if you have golden seals to host Huanglang and Kane, you should do that as a train, right? You should try to do that as a train. So let me just, I can't join it anyway because I am currently hosted the raids now. That's okay. I'll do it later. Yeah. So if it's like the normal Wanglang and Kirin you're talking about, that one it's okay to one-off host. Even that especially outside of Rise of the Beast, I've tried to get a train going, but it's gonna be kind of hard. Where's this? Yeah, these ones it's okay to just host to it because you can just leech, and the only goal with these is to just really get on-cap material. You need to do this just so you can on-cap, right? And they don't really give you much. But the other ones, the high-level version, you actually need them for so many things. The anima, right? That I would strongly recommend doing this as a train. Don't just like single host it. That's only after like you have. That's only after you have all the animas you need for Seraphix and things like that. Man, Avatar dies slow. Actually, kinda wanna host UBHL before I leave. So I guess I can stay like a couple more minutes just to get my UBHL. FLB soon, so better weapon than I would think. Alright, let's go try to find. Come on guys, seriously hardly looking for a good lord. Alright, never mind this. I'll just do it when my crewmates are doing it. I'll just ask them to let me come into their train. Right, so thank you guys for coming. I'm gonna end this stream here. Yeah, so I hope we catch you guys some other time. Stay safe.